You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Daymond John.
Yes,
What's
sir.
happening?
New book, Rise and Grind.
Rise and grind.
What is it about, man?
It's about getting up and being overproductive and out hustling the competition and, making it somewhere.
Right.
Like how we do every morning.
Like how you do. I mean, listen, y'all are the kings and queens of getting people up and getting them amped and ready to rise and grind. So absolutely.
I see so many people that will like sit at home and watch television and their show is on and they all they do, like they've seen every single television show. They're like, oh yeah, I saw that whole season. I saw that. I saw this. And I'm like, damn, when are you working?
I mean, that's the point, right? I'm getting, as I take the book out there, I'm meeting so many amazing people, and I got so many amazing tips in there. But if you know what's going on and you've been watched the whole entire season of House of Cards or Game of Thrones, and you don't know what's going on in your life and in your kids' life, then you're screwed up. You're not going to get anywhere. I don't even know what day it is today. And I won't know what day it is today. Some people have to remind me of what day it is.
Because you're just busy hustling.
I'm so busy grinding. I got to go, oh, my God, it's Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever the case is. But if you binge watching, then you're already lost.
Because a lot of people complain, oh, I want to be doing this. I hate my job. I hate my life. But they're not productively, actively doing anything to change that.
Here's the best part about people complaining. First of all, when you complain, 20% of the people don't care about your problems, and the other 80% are really, really happy you have them. Right? So the last thing you should be doing is complaining. I mean, because everybody else got their own problems, their own dreams and hopes. Like, why are you doing this?
You encourage all the readers to take control of their lives and their careers in a meaningful way. So how can this book, help people gain more success within their careers?
Well, here's the problem. Here's the situation in the book. I have 15 people in there, everybody from myself, Catherine Zeta-Jones to
Gary
Santana,
Vaynerchuk.
Gary V, my man, and then I got other people in there like Kyle Maynard. He climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with no arms, no legs, no prosthetics, right? And I asked them what were their first 90 minutes they do a day. Because if you have a mentor, you're not seeing what they do the first 90 minutes of the day. A lot of people in there, they have techniques like they will not answer any emails for the first hour of the day.
I definitely applied that to my life. I heard that from Will Smith a while ago, and I definitely applied that to
100%, because once you get up and you start opening your emails, you start taking care of everybody else's problems in the world, right? And then before you know it, you're caught up in some system looking at everybody else's problems. So my buddy Chris Sacca will say his inbox is his defense, his outbox is his offense. They'll send out emails and they'll put things in motion such as that. So there are a lot of tips in there on how to be super, super productive throughout your day. Don't go on Instagram for the first hour because you're going to get social media depression. Everybody else is sexier, happier, skinnier, richer, and they're not. They're just as screwed up as everybody else, but they're projecting all this perfection on you. So number one, you're taking care of everybody else's problems when you wake up, and number two, you're depressed at how everybody else is doing so well.
And you're letting everybody else set the tone for your day instead of setting the tone for the day yourself.
100%. And then listen, you know what else happens in the book? I realize it myself, and I learned from this. People don't schedule their family and or personal thing. They don't schedule time to call their mother or kiss their wife or go ahead and take their daughter to dinner. But what they'll do is they'll schedule when to be on the train, when to go to the office, when to be on a conference call, when they have to get to an 8:30 reservation. Before you know it, your kids are 24, 25, 30 years old. Your mom's is no longer around, and you realize that you worked for everybody else.
Word.
And what motivates you still?
Being the best father I can for my daughter, the fact that, we're talking Black History Month, that, in 1989, I stood in that corner of the Coliseum Mall, and I made a couple of bucks, and now I can hopefully try to encourage people that they don't have to be able to sing, dance, or, shoot a basketball. And if myself that I can get to this point in my life, that anybody else can. So those things motivate me,
Have you relaunched Fubu yet?
No, but we did do a great collaboration. We did a relaunch collaboration, 25 years anniversary. We have Fubu and Puma together, right? Charlamagne came over there and helped us launch it, and with Foot Locker. So we have that out in stores now for Black History Month. So it's the 50th anniversary of the Puma Suede and the 25th anniversary of us launching Fubu. So that's out in the stores right now.
You guys have a Fubu mobile store too, right, in Brooklyn?
We have about 6 Fubu mobile stores in Brooklyn. Fubu.
I saw one right next to Mango Seed in Zara Lee because I'm there all the time. I was just there a couple of days ago, and I saw when you guys did the grand opening. I just happened to be right there. So that's selling phone accessories? That's
selling phones and phone accessory and phone plans. I mean, when you have
a Fubu service?
Yeah, so when people have a brand, man, a brand can go on and go to any different areas. when we started out, we didn't obviously have cellular services, but now people want, that kind of information you can get from us, that kind of content you can get from us for maybe, for the West Indian Islands and things of that nature will be on our plans.
Did you ever find it difficult to get black people to support black business?
No. You know what? It is, and it was really great. When Fubu came out, African Americans and people of all color really supported. They felt like it was something of theirs that they can cherish. But be very honest. As we went on, everybody was like, don't sell. So we never sold. That was a big rumor. But then it would be, a certain demo who would say, "Oh, we ain't touching that no more." You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. African Americans have supported us for a long period of time, and they made the word Fubu just for us by us become only for African Americans when it wasn't. It was for a culture of people who love hip hop. Because back then when we started, I would address third base just as quick as I would address us. Or today I would address Eminem. It didn't matter. We weren't going to be prejudiced like the other companies were that made us create something saying who's ever going to support the culture that is, generated by African Americans, the hip hop culture, but it was inclusive.
How does the company cater and target black people with appeal to everyone? Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's what I believe. I believe everybody in the world wants to be Americans, and all Americans want to be black to some extent, right? Because
they want to be cool.
They want to be black, and they want to be cool because we control the cool. We control the cool. So I think that, listen, you look at like things like rap and other products like that, it has influenced the entire world and other cultures and every aspect of cultures, from the way people walk, talk, and dress. So I do think people can market purely to a certain demo, and it goes everywhere, because you can't market to everybody, unless you're Apple, unless you're Samsung, some of these big companies. So you have to start off with a certain demo no matter what.
Now, Russell, is it true Russell Simmons called and suggested you edit his advice from the book?
Yeah, Russell's in the book, first, and what happened, we sent out what we call the galleys, right? The books all to all the press and everybody, and they were reading, and Russell was in the book, and then he started going through these challenges, and he said, even as he was stepping down from all his companies because he didn't want to taint all the good work that was being done with what was going on in his life, he said, this book is about empowerment, and I don't want to get in the way, because people are going to make it more about what's going on in my life instead of what's going on in the 15 other people's lives here who you can learn from. So he said, you absolutely should edit me out of the book.
He told me the exact same thing. He said when his name comes up, he said don't defend him because he doesn't want to get in the way of the Me Too movement.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's gonna have to deal with what's going on in his life, but he's definitely not trying to say to other people, "Yo, why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do it?" He's like, "That's my issue, my problem. I'm gonna deal with it. I'm solve it one way or another."
Did you feel like you should have edited it?
Yeah, because listen, end of the day, what's going on with him? Neither one of us are judge and jury, and that's going to have to be settled between him and whoever the case is. But I have no idea any of the contributors in this book what they went through personally in their life. I would have had to call all 15 other subjects and said, "What happened in your life?" I'm a man with 3 daughters, and a great mother who raised me. I'm not sure what has gone on in some people's lives. And the readers, you don't want them to look at something and say, and be tainted by information we don't even know what is true or not, right? But you don't want it to be gray, a gray area.
All right.
Now, when doing Shark Tank, what do you look for when investing into a business? Because, I mean, there's so many businesses that come to you guys. What do you look for when you say, okay, I'm going to invest this much or I'm going to make an offer?
The bottom line is I look for if I like the person, right? Because, and I want to share this with people who may not be investing in companies just yet. But if I like the product, I could buy 1. I could buy 2, right? I could buy 100, but why do I have to deal with the company, right? If I like the company and I don't like the person, well, listen, when I send my money over to Tesla or to Apple, they don't call me and ask how to put together a computer or a car. So I got to like the person. And that goes for every single person listening. If you're going for a job interview or you're going for an investment, it's going to be, do they like you personally? You can come out of college and give somebody a resume all they want, but if I'm going to sit next to you for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for the next 5 years, I want to know, can I deal with you? Do I like you? So everybody out there putting their headphones on at their office, not speaking to anybody, being unsocial, well, when times go up and times go down, when times go down, there's 5 people in your division. If nobody likes you, guess who's getting cut first when they got to go down to 2 and 3 people? That's what's going to happen. Or when times are going well and people want to raise people and they want to give them more opportunity, who do you think they're going to go to first? They're going to go to somebody that everybody else likes in the division, and they know that they can solve problems. They're not problem creators. They're going to be able to create revenue and bring people together. The human factor, no matter what, is never going away. And now that houses and cars and everything else are getting smarter, the human factor is more important than anything else. So everybody else listening thinking they got a great resume, your resume sucks if you can't do the job. Now, I'm not talking about a surgeon. You know?
Oh, they're gonna have robots doing that too.
They're gonna have them too.
Watch.
But if somebody had an idea or they had a product that was doing really well and the profit margin was incredible, really low overhead, but you didn't really like them, even though it could be a huge, great, you still wouldn't do it?
I don't want to deal with them at all.
I'm with you, man. I don't like entertaining negative energy.
Yeah.
I just don't. What's the point?
Yeah, well, why are we doing this, right?
Yeah, you got money, you got a position already. Why do you have to entertain this?
Listen, well, especially like great broadcasts like you get to this point in your life where how many times you're gonna have to now kiss frogs? You've already kissed enough frogs coming up, right? Why I gotta do this? At what point in my life do I gotta stop dealing with crap? And you know what I'm saying?
Man, you preaching to the choir, man.
Now also with getting a loan, we get a lot of people call here all the time and they want a loan and they're trying to invest in their businesses. How did you get your first initial money to start Fubu? Was it a loan or was it friends? Because people always ask, how can I get a loan? My credit's bad. How can I get money?
Yeah.
How can I get people invested?
Good old Queens drug money. No, I'm just
Now, you know what? I started Fubu with $40, and you don't know what I had to do to earn that $40. But
$40?
$40.
What did you do for that $40, Daymond? Is that
I
another
stood on the
episode?
corner with a hat, man, and singing songs and dancing. I'm just joking, but I started with $40. People want a loan for what? The main reason that small companies go out of business and startups is overfunding. They go out and they borrow too much. They go and mortgage the house before they've sold anything. They go and build a $10,000 website instead of a $500 Facebook page. They go and buy a whole bunch of inventory of stuff that they don't know necessarily sells just yet. And then they turn around, they got 7 years of bad credit and nobody's talking to them. Mark Zuckerberg started with one friend. I started with one hat. You got to start with just one. Or, you know what? You're going to borrow money from me. I'm going to give you I'll give you $50,000, 50% of the company, right? All right, you get to $2 million, and now you got to raise another $500,000. Well, I'm not giving up my 50%. Who's going to give you the money then? All right, so then you get up another 40%. Now you work 10%. You might as well have been working back at Red Lobster because now you're working for the company and you're not making any money. So stop asking for loans. Dig in your couch. Stop going to dinner 5 days a month. Right. Sell your car and get a car 10 years older and take the train and the bus a couple of times. Before you know it, that money will compound and you'll either make the mistake small and that money will be gone and you'll be able to just start again.
Bounce back, right?
Bounce back from it, but you can't borrow money. You can't do that.
I can't do that because I need my Instagram to be popping now. I can't look poor.
You can't. Well, that's true, man. You could, a lot of filters out there, baby. Filters.
It's interesting because as I've been trying to invest more and make my small investments in certain companies, people have told me not to invest my own money into doing something and that it would be a better idea to not take that risk with my own money.
Yeah, those people are idiots. So those people are saying, go out and use other people's money. But number one, if you have real investors around you, and you're gonna have a circle of investors, they're gonna say, well, if you don't believe in it, why should I believe in it? No, so you got to put in some skin in the game. Number one, and other people. OPM doesn't have to always be other people's money. Right? It could be other people's manufacturing, mind power, manpower, marketing, mentors. You can make money off of other people's mistakes. When I came out and I only had a couple of shirts, I went to Ralph McDaniels and I used other people's marketing. He put me on a network of Video Music Box and told everybody that, this is going to blow up. I had 10 shirts in my basement. Before I know it, I started getting calls. You know what I mean? I started dressing all the bodyguards out there because I knew the big guys didn't have clothes because they either had to wear custom or those big white shirts. I dressed them because I knew they would never change their shirts. So these big guys started wearing the shirts all the time. The artists started saying to me, yo, man, why can't I get none? Because I kept dressing the cool bodyguards.
So that Fubu would stand out.
I was using other men. They were standing in front of clubs and they were standing next to LL Cool J. So it was a big billboard.
People probably thought that was the new Zulu Nation.
I was thinking outside the box. You know what I mean?
But talking to a lot of people, they told me the complete opposite. They told me that, they use other people's money to invest in certain things, so they never touch their main money, and they make the money like that.
I don't believe in those type of people. I just believe that those people are, people who don't believe in it enough, or they're just purely looking at it from a financial gain. Now, I'm happen to be somebody who likes to be part of a movement of things. If you're going to be a stockbroker, you're going to be a financial trader, things of that nature, no problem. But if I'm going to have my own money then, and I'm not smart enough, then again, I'm going to go back to letting Elon Musk and, the great Steve Jobs run the company. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to send him $1,000. I'm opening my mailbox. It's going to be $1,300 there. Another month, I'm going to start trading that on bonds and everything else. I want to mess with real geniuses when I just send my money over,
Now you was sitting down with Tyler, the Creator, and you talked about how millennials are grinding harder than the generation before them. Why do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think some millennials get a bad rap. I think that a lot of millennials are told about these kids who are, they just feel entitled. But if you really look at when I grew up, the phone cut off. The phone was only on from 9 to 5 when I was at the office. This digital device is stuck to millennials their entire 24 hours. So they're answering it all times of the night. They also don't support companies that don't do stuff for others. They're like, listen, you got to be a Tom Shoes or you got to be a Bombas Socks or somebody who gives every time I buy. And they want to improve the planet, right? And there's also transparency, too. You can't hide and put out a junk product and or something without knowing what's going on because they're going to blow the whistle on what's going on in the company. That's
in real time.
Yeah, in real time. So I think there's millennials. Listen, they're overthrowing governments with a cell phone and Twitter instead of guns, right?
But don't you think that's the problem? Don't you think sometimes social media gives the illusion of hustling?
It absolutely can, but when it comes down to the reality, the bottom line is going to be the person. You'll see what they're doing through the course of time, right? You can only lie but so much on social media, right? But what I'm saying is the work ethic of a lot of millennials and how they're conversing around the world with just their fingertips can be amazing. I see two types of people on Shark Tank. Number one is the person that comes up that says the sharks have all the answers to me and they're going to just bless me and I'm going to be a gajillionaire tomorrow. Well, then Fubu would be Nike if that was the case, if I knew everything, right? I see the other kids come up there who said, you're just a stepping stone to greater success, and if you want to get on the train with me, that's okay, but the train's leaving regardless. And those are the kind of people I like.
Now, you said grinding more. It seems like it's a lot easier. Like, you think about it, clothing line, when you had the clothing line every day, you just said you would have to go to the clubs, you'd have to go to the record labels, you would have to grind, you'd have to get your ass out the house and walk. But it seems a little easier now because now all they're doing is sending pictures and saying, "Hey,
but it's oversaturated because now everybody has a
so that's the problem. So I used to go to the club. Now, there's 7 million people in that club. You know what I mean? Because of the ability to sell and stuff, and I got to get through that clutter. If I was somebody coming up, right? But the only advantage now is that technology has made it so that we can create things faster. So, I've met kids who are taking orders every Monday. Going to the and taking the money in from the customer, replicating the goods on Tuesday and sending it out on Wednesday, and now they don't need inventory. That's so why the hell you need a loan, right? Go out and get everybody's money right there and say I'm going to deliver. Make the goods, and now you got and I used to make a shirt for 10, sell it to the store for 20. They sell it for 40. You can make it 10 and sell directly to the customer for 40. Right. So why go out and get a loan? So technology has improved so many areas, but it's also hurt some areas because you got to find, no matter what, whoever you are, you got to create a following. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a following, your foundation is going to crumble.
And you don't even have to really get the T-shirt made. You can just get the design made, post the design.
You get it on Stitchless and all that design made. Boom, ship it. You never even touched it. You in the park on a skateboard.
One thing I think that you say is really important is to really not get that comfortable and learn how to master different things. And I think that's important because sometimes we get very used to going into work every day, doing our 9 to 5 or whatever we've been doing that's been working, and we just kind of keep up with that formula. But it is really important for us to evolve and to also make sure we keep challenging ourselves.
100%. You got to, today, write your obituary. If you were to die today, did you do the things that you wanted to do or the things that you wanted to accomplish in life? And if you didn't, are you on the way to it? If everybody right now listening to me will go out and write a list of what they love and what they hate, and they start trying to find ways to get rid of what they hate. So what you hate may be because of a person, maybe because of an education you don't have, maybe because of some assets or you need to outsource it, and they start concentrating on the things they love, they'll notice their life will change dramatically. And that's what we put in Rise and Grind, various ways to do this, because we'll get stuck. We will get stuck going, all right, finally got this 9 to 5. I'm only going to be here for 2 years, and then 25 years will pass, and you'll realize you lived for everybody else. And so a lot of the people in this book are very selfish. They'll set goals on what they want to do in life, and they'll make sure they keep revisiting those goals, right? I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, I'm looking at all these people get on the subway and the train, and they all have this destination to get to work, right? And when it snows, they'll put on boots. If the train is stuck, they'll take the bus. They'll all get to this destination. But the destination of what they want to do in life that they wrote down 10, 20 years ago, they'll never get to that destination because it's not a physical place, right? It's a place of being, right? But they'll never adjust to keep trying to find a way to get to that destination. But they'll get their ass to work every single morning. They'll find a way to get home every single night, but they'll never get to that destination of happiness. So you have to start mentally doing these things.
What is it? Explain to the people what the chapter Step Back is about.
The chapter Step Back in the book?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
About
Who was that?
I thought those were your words.
Oh, all right. So stepping back, when you step out, because I have 15 subjects in there and they're all over the place. So stepping back means that you have to step back sometimes to leap forward. You have to break down a lot of things in your life because you've built up this world that is dependent on one way or another. Mentally, you have to step back to who you were initially because now, the way you look at it like this. You grew up for the first 15 years, you were somebody's child. Then all of a sudden you were somebody's student, hopefully, if you went to school. Then you're going to be somebody's, wife or husband. Then you're going to be somebody's father and then somebody's grandfather, grandmother. You, a lot of times, don't step back and see what you initially wanted in life and wanted to accomplish. So stepping back is stepping back and looking at all the things you want to do, erasing the blackboard of where you are right now and writing very specific ways to get to what you want to accomplish.
So basically, it's making sure you're constantly who you want to be.
Yeah, because we lose who we want to be often, right? And a lot of people in this book and in this room understand you have to take some time aside and sit there for Tyler, the creator. You know what he does? He sits in a tree and swings his legs every other day just to
Remind
him what he wanted to do. And he writes everything down. So he'll go back to it 2 years, 5 years ago and later and say, did I accomplish or did I write what I wanted to be? He'll scratch it off if he didn't want to do this, right? So a lot of people do that. Santana will get up in the morning and think of all the things that happens in his life that gives him joy, so he stops thinking that the world is over. Every time you turn on the TV, the world is blowing up or something's going on. He'll start off at a base of joy. So a lot of these people do that, and they also start off with, am I who I want to be? And if I'm not, what am I going to do to change it today? If everybody right now listening to me just makes 10 calls every single day or emails in a direction that they want to be at, they may not be there right now. They may be, I'm looking for applications to get a job here. I'm looking for a certain type of love. I'm looking for a certain type of job or investment. If they make 10 calls a day, you can't believe what would happen over the course of a year.
Well, Daymond John has to go, guys.
Okay, we know he's very busy. He's rising and grinding.
He's rising and grinding.
Don't be hitting us up complaining. Why y'all only do 20 minutes with Daymond John?
Daymond John got to go.
Okay, he got to go.
But I got this one of my tracks, one of my speaking tracks, people scored it so people can get amped every morning when they're going to work or on the treadmill. If everybody wants it, they can just hit up The Wave because we're all riding this wave. I hope you want to ride The Wave. So The Wave at 44222. If you just text that, it's free. I'm not trying to be no rapper or artist. They just basically, scored one of my speaking engagements to hopefully motivate people. So it's text The Wave to 44222.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for joining us.
Love you.
Pick up the book, Rise and Grind Now. Daymond John, it's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.